So let's go ahead and finish up Jonah 3:3. First part of Jonah 3 we did in the previous video. Now let's finish it up. First of all, see if you can pronounce the Hebrew. Here's how I would. V'Nineveh, Nineveh, hayata ir gadolah le'Elohim mahalak. Okay, that's the beginning of the end of the verse. So you see, and Nineveh. Sometimes you can do this. You can say now Nineveh. Hebrew, the vav can mean many different things. And if you're commissioned to make a translation of the Old Testament, you kind of, go with the flow. We're now going to hear a little bit about the city of Nineveh. Now, Nineveh, hayata, it was. So we've learned the word haya a long time ago. It was in the very first verse, I think, of Jonah. Maybe it was there at the beginning of Jonah. This particular form we haven't seen, though, and in fact, this might be a good place for me to insert a video on the conjugation of the verb to be, haya. This kamatz he probably has you thinking feminine singular. That would be correct. So Nineveh city is a feminine word. Nineveh was a city, and she's a grand old city. So sometimes they thought of things as feminine that we wouldn't think of as feminine, and city is a case. Ir is a feminine word. You can tell because the adjective gadolah also has a kamatz he. It's an old word because cities have been around a long time, so sometimes they didn't get the memo on the rules for adding a kamatz he because they're so old. But anyway, so this is the third feminine singular form of haya. It's the call stem or the G stem. Now, Nineveh was a city great. It was a great city. Now, this is interesting. Le'Elohim, this isn't usually put in translations. Go ahead and look at a few translations of Jonah 3:3 and see if they have this to God, to Elohim here. It seems to have a sense of something like it was a really big city. It was a great city to God. I mean, it was like it reached to the heavens, or I doubt that. But it's obviously figurative. But it has this sense of this is a godlike city. It's meaning it's of a high magnitude. In fact, Jonah's about to say something that is fantastical. And that is that it's a 3 days journey to go across it. It is a mahalak, and then let's get the rest of the verse, sheloshet yamim. So sheloshet is the word for three, but I believe it's construct. I believe this is three of days, and then here yod mem is, of course, plural. So it's a journey 3 of days. It's a 3 days journey to get across Nineveh. That would imply that it's something like a 60-mile wide city. We hardly have that today. It is rather fantastical. We get the point. It's a huge city. It is one of the biggest cities of that day. Maybe in fact, it is the biggest city in existence at the time of Jonah. Quite possibly that could be true. But anyway, mahalak is interesting. You can see halak there, the word to walk. And mem typically is a participle kind of thing. But this has become a noun in its own right. It's a walking of 3 days, a journey of 3 days. You get the sense. You can picture the walking in the journey. 3 of, again, shalosh is feminine, and then shaloshet, I think, is the construct form. It's 3 days journey. All right, well, I've beaten that dead horse. The last thing here, I've already told you this verbally. Let me just show it to you. Hayata it's the base stem, call, or G. It's perfect because the endings are put at the end, not on the front. It's third feminine singular because of the kamatz he, and it's from haya. And there you have it. We finished Jonah 3:3.